Welcome to Tornado Talk. I'm Wes Spikerman, a junior from Wayne, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Jacob Belial, senior from Austin, Texas. And this is Tornado Talk.
And with us in the studio today is Miss Burns.
Yay.
Miss Burns, introduce yourself.
How much detail do I need to give?
Well, how old are you and where are you from?
My name's Callie Burns.
Don't actually say how old you are.
Okay.
Well, you can if you want to.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Say it.
Okay. My name is Callie Burns. I'm 32. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Whoa.
I know. Whoa. Watch out, Jacob. Born and raised here.
There we go.
Yep.
So a little update before we dive into the show. A little update for our people. We are still in the process of picking the new host to replace me.
Applications have come in, so that's
Applications
over.
have come in, so
That's
is over. So we're now choosing. But after I graduate, I'm not fired from the show, just to make that clear. After I graduate, we will be choosing somebody else, which is a sad day. I'm sorry, Wes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be
so
great.
mean.
I'm playing. Jacob, how we just had spring break. How was
Yeah, we
yours?
did just have spring
How
break.
was your spring break?
My spring break was awesome. Went down to the beach with a couple guys,
Very nice.
senior friends.
Oh,
it was a
of
lot
course,
of fun. It was
of
a lot of fun.
course.
Where'd you go?
Down the same beach.
Seaside?
And, yeah,
Yeah,
seaside.
there we
And then flew across Big Blue Sea to España.
Really?
Yeah, I went to watch some soccer. It was very
That's
fun.
sick. Who'd you watch?
I watched Real Madrid and Barcelona's women's teams play.
That's pretty sick.
And then I watched Barcelona play Sevilla and Madrid play Celta Vigo.
That's actually, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
That's a good time. Good time. Miss
What-
Burns, what did you do for spring break?
I did not go to the same beach that y'all went to. I stayed on
Word?
campus. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Drew had to work, so it was just me. The boys were in daycare, so I got some things done.
To clarify, Drew is your husband, correct?
Drew, my husband, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He was at work. Killed a wasp's nest, in case y'all are wondering. So you're
Wow.
welcome, Wes.
Thank you.
Saved
Thank
us from
you.
a
Yeah.
wasp nest.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, for those of y'all who don't know, Miss Burns is my dorm head. So there's gonna be a lot of inside jokes. So I'm sorry.
I think we're probably gonna get to that.
Probably
in the script. Yep.
because she's like the first female
All right.
dorm head.
So,
but, like,
have you watched
like that.
any of the or listened to any of the episodes?
I have.
Do you know our opening game?
Is it the rapid fire?
All right, yeah, let's
that's
take that.
close
Let's
enough.
take it.
That's close
Let's take it.
enough. That's close
It's called
enough.
quick fire.
Okay. Oh, it's so close.
we're gonna
Synonyms.
Spit a question,
Okay.
spit back an answer. All right,
Okay.
ready? Best faculty member to be stranded on a deserted island with.
Ooh.
Spitball. Got to be quick.
Kitty Shoal.
Yeah.
He's very resourceful.
I'd take. Okay.
He's very resourceful.
He is.
I mean, he's got that world famous chili of his.
He's world famous chili. He's always got. Always has like duct tape, pocket knives. You know what I mean? So like
Okay.
I know that
All right.
he would at least help me survive potentially.
Okay.
All right, we
Maybe.
certainly go to quickfire, but I want to take this back to why he's so stickly about quacking in chapel.
It's probably annoying.
It's so fun.
It could be, or it could all be just a shtick. You know?
That's true.
It is
That's
Yeah.
true. All right, next question. If you could add one food item to the dining hall lunch, what would it be?
Oh my gosh! If I could have one food item,
Just one.
to the dining hall. Quesadillas, but they have that every day though. Staple quesadillas every day. Can I do that? Is that not right?
You can do it every day.
Y'all don't
You can
seem
do it every
excited
day.
about
like
that.
takeaway burgers.
Take away
quesadillas.
burgers and make
Whoa,
quesadillas
whoa,
every
whoa,
day.
That's fair.
Whoa,
That's
whoa,
fair.
whoa.
Bro, it's her answer,
But
man. It's her
burgers.
answer.
It's my answer, Wes.
Favorite music artist.
Ooh, favorite music artist. Probably Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was gonna be Thomas Rhett.
I
low-key.
mean,
Yeah.
I do love him, but like tried and true, it's Dave
Okay,
Matthews
Dave's
Band.
Band, okay.
Like from the moment I was a kid to now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Which dorm head would win in an arm wrestling match?
Well, I'm not gonna pick me. So,
That's solid choice.
is that fair? Is that
that's
fair?
fair.
Which dorm head would win in a wrestling match? I don't know.
Arm wrestling match.
Arm wrestling.
I feel
Arm
like it
wrestling.
comes down to Tolar Wallen.
I'm going. Oh man, I got a Tolar.
Taking Tolar.
I'm taking Tolar.
I'm taking
Sorry,
Tolar too.
sorry, Mr. Wallen. I'm taking Tolar.
Actually, I want to be a press RA, so Mr. Wallen, I have you.
Good pick.
Best place to run or walk on campus that isn't the track, of course.
Ooh, probably upper campus where you can see the view, like where the skylight
That's a
used
good
to be.
answer. That's a
Yeah,
good answer.
yeah.
Last one. What is your favorite McCallie tradition?
My favorite McCallie tradition. I just have to pick one.
Just one.
Just one.
Just
Number one. It's your favorite.
I know this was supposed to be rapid fire, quick fire, but I don't know. I have to think. Can I think?
Oh my God.
My favorite.
Oh my God.
My favorite McCallie tradition. Probably. I don't want to be cliche.
Okay, fine. Booth, do you have an answer?
I got it. No, I can do this. My favorite McCallie tradition. I mean, I guess is it Baylor McCallie week?
That's a great answer.
It's a common
I
answer.
know, but it's a
It's
common
a common
answer.
but it's a great
It's kind of
answer.
cliche, guys.
It's a common answer. It's a really cliche answer.
No, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
I'm not being sarcastic. It's a
I
good
know.
answer.
I'm not.
It's a good answer.
I was trying to be different, but it's not gonna work.
You could say Duck Day.
No, that one. We've had that one.
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot,
we've
too.
had that one too.
You
There's
could
not
say
really one.
like Cookie Friday.
I do love Cookie
No one's
Friday.
ever said Cookie
I
Friday.
do. I like our Sunday 4th meals.
So do I, actually.
They're some of my favorite times.
Shout out South Hutch getting the win yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
Boom.
Let's go.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right. So moving on. Now, after we've finished long fire,
Yeah. You should have known that's what it was going to be with
slow
me.
fire.
Yeah,
Slow fire.
You should have known.
let's dive a little bit into Miss Burns. What makes Miss Burns Miss Burns? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Deep
deep.
question.
So we know that you have a special connection with McCallie,
Mm-hmm.
obviously growing up here. So could you tell us about how you were connected with McCallie growing up and how you ended up back here
Ooh.
as a faculty member?
Yeah. Yes. So I actually grew up on campus. I know you just said that. The first house I lived in here on campus, I think it was the founder's apartment that Mr. Chapin lives in. That's where I was brought home as a newborn. Yeah. My dad worked here originally as a geometry teacher. Then he was a head baseball coach. Then he was dean of students. Then we went up and lived in the Chackman's house. Then we were in South Hutch, the apartment I now live in. It was actually an apartment I
Really?
grew up in for a few years. Yeah. Yeah.
That's kinda
And then we moved up to the house where my parents currently are.
cool. The yellow one.
The yellow house. Yes.
If y'all didn't know, it's the yellow one up.
The yellow
up at the
one.
top.
Yeah. It's between Mr. McCallie and Mr. Chackman's house. So grew up here my whole life and never lived anywhere else in Chattanooga except for this campus. Went off to UTK. Go Vols. I had to say it. And then
Wow.
a lot of people won't be excited about that. Then
Oh, wait. You also
yeah,
went to Kansas.
I did.
Yeah, just to
did.
clarify.
I
She
did.
went to Kansas,
I
so
did.
she celebrated
Online.
for no reason.
I
About to
did.
say.
Hey, it was hard. Okay, it was I got my master's online. Yes, through Kansas.
I don't know if you can
Life.
claim yourself as a
I don't think
Kansas
I
fan,
can,
though.
but UTK so horribly embarrassed us in the March Madness. I love UTK. I'm so sorry. And so I had to cheer for someone. That was my only connection I had left. You know what I mean? Came back here. Actually worked in public school for a little while. Worked at another private school in town, and then there was a job opening here, and I applied, and here I am almost 9 years later.
Wow.
Wow. That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
What about being a teacher initially drew you to the profession? Like, you grew up on a school campus, but like, how did you know you wanted to be a teacher?
Yeah. Well, as corny as this might sound, I come from a family of teachers. All my cousins are teachers. My uncles are teachers. My aunts are teachers. And so just
Your
kind of
husband's a teacher.
My husband's a teacher. My parents are teachers. My brother's a teacher. But
Wow.
just watching them and watching all of the people I grew up with, I kind of watched them serve in something that was bigger than themselves. And that's always what I was drawn to, is just being part of something that was bigger than yourself.
And would you say that vision has stayed the same?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So, kind of as a outsider looking in, because you are the first female guest we've actually had on the podcast.
That's great.
I know. It's very good. We're
Thank you.
branching out here. So,
Yeah.
as looking in on McCall, like from the outside, kind of looking in,
Yeah.
what things have stayed the most consistent and what things have changed that you've seen at McCallie?
Wow.
It's a loaded question.
That's a loaded question.
That is a loaded question.
That's a loaded question. What things have stayed consistent? Well, I think that feeling of community and family is something that has stayed consistent, and I think something we all work so hard to preserve here on campus. I think it's something that is truly special that is not seen in a lot of other schools. And it's something that I think we do so well. I think that's something that stayed consistent. Things that have changed. I mean, kids are different and they bring different things. So it's hard to say, I mean, things were different than what they were 2 or 3 years ago. So that's a hard question to answer because
always changing.
It's always changing,
but always consistent.
But it's always consistent. But I think something that grounds us is that we preserve that feeling of family and that feeling of community. And I think that's one thing where we can all agree on. I hope.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I like that.
I agree.
Yeah, thanks.
Great answer.
Yeah. So I guess now to get a little more specific about what you teach.
Yeah.
We have science and we have the Learning Center. And we'll get to the Learning Center in a second, but let's start with science. What would you say makes teaching science here unique to potentially teaching at other schools?
Oh God. One of the best things is the amount of freedom and trust we're given in the classroom to kind of bring ourselves into what it looks like. And we can be so hands-on, and rarely, like if we have this idea that we want to try, rarely are we told no. They're like, yeah, try it. And if it doesn't work, then we'll all learn from it. Like y'all included, the students will learn from it. So I think it's the freedom to explore and to not just hold on to what's always been done in the science classroom.
And would you say that's different from other core subjects, or kind of all McCallie core classes similar?
I think they're all similar. I think we're pushed and encouraged to explore and to do better each time and to try things that might feel.
Fun fact, I was in her freshman year biology class. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a fun class.
That was a fun class.
Elijah Senior, if you're an OG here, you remember Elijah Senior. I took his place. He's the true OG.
Yeah, he was a real one. He was a real one.
Elijah and I sat at the same desk in her biology class, and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, we got a lot done, didn't we? Yeah,
we did.
Y'all made it real easy on me.
But now, to definitely the more rambunctious side of your teaching career here, the Learning Center.
One of my favorite places on campus.
The Learning Center.
Maybe that's my favorite
One
tradition.
of the most lively places on campus, which many people that work in the Learning Center are not happy that is the most lively place on campus, but it definitely is. So, how has working in the Learning Center influenced your teaching?
Oh, that's fair.
And really
that's
quickly,
a great question.
Before you answer that, explain what the Learning Center is.
Okay.
And then proceed to answer the question.
Good call.
The Learning Center is kind of a one-stop shop for the guys to come and get help on anything, whether it's an English paper or if they need help in math or a science class, or we try to help in the languages. It's also a place where you can come and get help. You can get set up with a consistent tutor weekly. And sometimes it's a place where guys just kind of need to come and take a breath. Y'all are really busy and life is hard. So sometimes y'all just need a second.
Yeah. So how has that place influenced your teaching?
Yeah. I've learned about the attention span, how much time I've got with y'all, right?
That's fair.
It's fair. I'm actually
Can you give us an approximate?
Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes, I think is where we're at.
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
I was going to say
it is pretty high.
5-10.
Yeah, but so I've based my class around that. Like on days where we have discussions, I have condensed them, and I tell the guys, I need you for 15 to 20 minutes to just sit and listen. And then after that, we're going to ask questions. We're going to do activities. I'm going to have you up and moving. So that's something I've learned in the Learning Center is that y'all need to be moving. Y'all need to be using your hands. Y'all can't sit and listen to me talk for 15 minutes as much as I want to talk to you for 15 minutes. It's just not going to work. I've also learned how lively y'all are. It's spirited in there.
Yeah.
It's a great way to describe
it. Is spirited.
It's very spirited, but it's an amazing thing. And we just have to learn how to channel it.
That is true.
Right?
It just sometimes doesn't get channeled.
No, but it's okay. We're all figuring it out. Sometimes y'all get me a little off track.
Fortunately, Ms. Burns is one of the more understanding teachers. So
we're definitely going to have to cut that.
I think you can say that. If you're gonna cut that, will you cut the part where I said UTK embarrassed us? I feel bad.
No, we're
We
not
won't
cutting
cut the
that.
snorts either.
Yeah,
The snort's
no.
staying.
We should make that a sound effect for the board. Snort.
Let me know. I can do another if you need it.
No, we're good.
All right.
We got all we need.
Okay.
We got all we need. So, and then last question about the whole teaching side.
Yeah.
Describe one day on campus or moment from that day that you will never forget.
Oh my gosh.
Another loaded question.
Loaded. Y'all really
Very
throwing
loaded.
them at me. Do y'all want me to tell you my story that happened to me my first year teaching here? That is my nightmare that I have every summer before we start
Sounds
break.
great.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So my first year teaching here, we were actually up on the 5th floor of the academic building. That's where the science floor
Ew.
used to be. Yeah. And I was teaching in the outside classroom. You know, the outside classroom right before you walk in on the English floor. And so this student, he will be unnamed. Y'all wouldn't know him anyways. It was so long ago.
Let's call him Joe.
He go, okay, well, but wait, no, a Joe. It wasn't a Joe, but
That was part of the fun.
yeah.
Beckley.
Okay.
Joe Cahill.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
Name
this
drop.
We'll cut that one
student
too.
cut his hand and on one of the stools in there. And what he didn't know at the time is that he actually, it's a common thing that happens to a lot of people. He passes out at the sight of his own blood. And mind you, this student was 6'3", 6'4",
Football player.
pretty big guy. Yeah. So he turns pale and he's like, Miss Burns, I'm going to pass out. I'm like, okay, let's make our way. There used to be a bench out in the hall outside. I was like, let's make our way to the bench and let's sit down. He's like, okay. So I'm walking him out and I'm looking at him and his eyes start to go back into his head. And I'm like, we just got to make it out there. So we make it outside and there's all like, you know how it's a rocky, the floor is rocky.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, he passes out on me.
Oh, no.
Oh,
And so I'm
no.
I'm able to hold him.
Okay.
And he's pushing up because he's still pushing up his body weight. Like, don't compliment me that much. I'm not actually holding his dead body weight. He's pushing up and I'm holding him. And then he goes full dead weight and I dropped him.
Like a sack of potatoes.
Like a couple sack of potatoes. And he hit, bless his sweetheart, he hit that rock face first and slid.
Oh, so you let him go.
It's my first year teaching here. I'm only 2.5 years
So
teaching.
did you step to the side?
And no, I just dropped him and he hit. And so I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
He just.
What am I supposed to, I tried so hard and I will tell him that I tried. And he has a scar right here. You can still see it. And so I thought that I killed someone my first year teaching her. So I roll him over and I'm crying and I'm like, please wake up. And Coach Bass, TJ Bass, who's no longer working here, but he was wonderful. He came up and was like, oh yeah, he passes out the side of his own blood. He's good. He's like gives him a little smack and he like comes to. He had one of the most severe concussions I think we've ever seen.
Jeez.
Wow.
He's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. He's fine. It's all good. But yeah,
That
Except
is a
he couldn't
funny
play
story. That's a
football.
funny story, though.
it was funny. He was a sophomore at the time. So,
There was no way you were going to catch him either.
oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way. No, hold on. I did catch him. Like, let's make that clear.
You did, but you did also clarify that it was not.
No, she caught him, and then
I
he
caught
went
him.
full.
But he
And
was
then he went
standing up,
full-
and then he like
yeah.
slumps,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was-
it's
it was
So
over.
now I say at the beginning of my class, every class is like, do you get woozy at the sight of blood?
I remember that.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
And so that's my
Tell us the
nightmare.
story.
It's my nightmare before every school year. That's my nightmare.
Well, to move on to another nightmare of yours,
Oh God.
let's talk about being a dorm head.
Well, that's not a nightmare. Let's talk about it.
That's pretty much a nightmare.
I think it's a blast.
It is very fun.
It is fun.
And the twins are a lot of fun.
The twins are fun.
The young jits.
Thank you.
So to specify, you are the South Hutch dorm head.
Correct.
The best dorm and the best dorm head.
It's arguable. This is your
We're a little biased.
second
Yeah.
year as dorm head.
First year was COVID.
I did my research.
Yep. My
So
first.
I've had you like since the beginning.
Yep.
So-
You're an original.
What did the process of becoming a dorm head look like?
Yeah. So I was in the dorm for probably about 4 or 5 years before there was ever talk. I actually never even considered being a dorm head. And I think my process looked a little different because I had an interview right before COVID hit. And so I interviewed and I didn't hear anything for about 2.5 months. Wow. Granted, we were dealing with a global pandemic, so I understood why I hadn't heard anything. And then they reached out and they said they wanted me to be the dorm head, and it was all very exciting and made the announcement like they do.
Were you nervous about like, because you were the first female dorm head too?
I was the first female dorm head, and I will say that I did, even though no one ever put this pressure on me, I did feel the weight of like being the first female, like what that would look like. I think I overthought that more than anyone else. I think I thought about that more than anybody else was thinking about it. So I put some unnecessary pressure on myself in that piece of it. But we also had to worry about COVID. My first year as a dorm head was our first year back in the middle of a pandemic. So I found some comfort that no one really knew what to expect that first year. It was kind of everybody's first year, if you will.
Well, as a student in the dorm, you've done a great job.
Thank you so much, Wes. Thank you.
Just wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate it. Brownie points.
Can you take off my marks?
Yeah, for sure. I got you.
Let's go.
So what's been the hardest part about balancing dorm head teacher? How have you gone about that?
I think the hardest thing is that the dorm head is so much a part of my everyday life. It's what I go home to. So I think it's having to be able to pause it and focus on the other things that I have, like pause it and be a teacher for during the school day, like be a teacher, be in the learning center, and like be a dorm head when I need to be during the day. But like, those are my other responsibilities during the day too. So I've had to really work on balance on that piece of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, that makes
I'm
sense.
still trying to juggle it and figure it out.
Okay.
And being a mom.
Yeah.
And being a mom
Of two
of two
little
yes.
boys.
Twin boys.
Rambunctious
Little
little
devils.
guys.
They're fun though.
Yeah, they're
I love
wild.
them.
They
They are
don't
wild.
stop until they're asleep. So
That's true.
y'all help with that though.
Try.
Yeah, y'all do a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Y'all
Well, all right.
Y'all are very helpful on snow day.
That was fun
That
though.
was fun.
That was probably more fun for me than it was for them.
Yeah. Well, no, they had a blast until Wesley's hands turned. Not this Wesley, my Wesley. His hands.
He was
turned.
named after me though.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get that out there.
Wow. Bold take over here.
It's a bold take.
Huge.
Bold,
Huge take.
Wes. He says that all the time, though. He says that all the time. I did not know that Wesley
fiery.
Spikerman existed yet, but
Fiery.
but
Would
it
have
was
been named
fiery.
after me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. His hands turned purple, and that's remember.
Yeah.
We had to go and
That was probably game over.
it was game over.
Yeah, it
He
was game
cried
over.
the whole way home.
Oh, goodness.
It was rough.
The whole walk.
Again,
can
my
hear
West, not this. This West didn't cry the whole way home.
Well,
This
I
West
was close
cry.
to
He
it.
cries too. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
okay.
Yeah.
We all
gets a
should.
little
Every
Very
now and then, we
I'm
all
a very
need it.
sentimental
It's a little
person.
nervous.
We all need it every now and then.
You're right.
Just a good cry.
Yeah, I cried when
Turn on a little Adele.
I cried when
No.
Gus.
Let it
when-
out.
I cried when I gave Gus a snowball and then he dropped it.
Yeah, well, that's on you.
Your son dropped the snowball, but all right. Let's
right.
move on. Let's move on. What would you say is your funniest moment as dorm head? And this is scary because I live in the dorm, so I'm really worried. No, it won't be about me.
It won't
I
be
know.
bad. It won't be bad. My funniest moment as dorm head.
There's got to be some good ones.
There's a lot of
mean,
good ones, but
Charlie
like,
Arnold.
Back to like Brandon Ben.
gotta pick. Oh, do you want me to go back to when I
Well,
was
what is the question?
not a dorm head? I can do that.
It's just funniest or funnest. Whoa, I just said the same word twice. What is the funnest or funniest
Is funnest a
memory on
word?
campus, in the dorm, or during your childhood around campus? So anytime.
Anytime.
That's a big question. Can you read it again?
What is
Yeah.
your funniest or funnest memory on campus, in the dorm, or during your childhood around campus?
Yeah, my childhood around campus.
Let's just keep it to while you worked in the dorm
That's
as an
fair.
adult.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's going back. You know,
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot. That's some
Just
decades.
While you were in the dorm as an adult teacher
Yeah, you had to go
at the school.
as a dorm head, or when I just worked in the dorm.
Just when you worked in the dorm.
When I worked in my dorm.
From
My
when you
funniest
started to now dorm head.
to when I started to now
I hope it's like in
dorm head.
the last 2 years though, because
I know, but there's so many. There's so many. Do I need to back
What
up?
is that buzzing?
Was I too close?
I think there was a bug bite or thing. All right, carry on.
There's a lot. I will say in the past 2 years, my wonderful South Hutch boys have been very creative in the ways that they've kept me entertained. and making sure that I'm staying on top of my job. It's just, God, I got to pick. I got just one.
Just one.
Just one. Just the first one that comes to your mind.
The first one that comes to my mind is when someone threw a stink bomb in someone's room and it seeped into my apartment. And I kept asking Drew why he was like, Drew, what is happening, man? You good? And he was like, are you good? And I was like, I'm fine. And we figured out someone threw a stink bomb in someone's room. So that's probably one of the funnier ones, but I can't tell them all.
Yeah. I was thinking the one where you walked in to like Brandon and them's room and they were playing 2K at like 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that story? That's the one that comes to mind for me.
What happened in that story? There's so many.
It was like Elijah and all of them. And then like you walked in the room and they were just like playing 2K after you asked them to go to bed like 6 times.
Oh yeah, I did ask them to go to bed a lot, and they were jumping up and down.
And
that was when Hutch was in the renovations and there was no ceiling.
There was no ceiling.
The lights were just hanging.
And you walked in there
and there was construction dust everywhere. Man, what a time.
That was fun.
That was fun. I didn't even think about that. Or when Mason Calhoun got so mad because he couldn't find his charger and he threw a trash can down the hallway and it was in his bag the whole time. And he woke up everybody on the hall and he was like, hey, I found it. It's all good. Love that story. It's so funny.
Or the one where, I hate to call him out, Jack Darby. I was coming over to South Hutch. Jack Darby's printer wasn't working.
Oh, he was so mad.
And he freaked out.
He was so mad at that printer.
It was the middle study hall, and he started yelling at the printer.
It was the bane of his existence.
And Miss Burns and I walked in there and like, Jack, is everything good? And he like just cooled off real quick. And he's like, hey, yeah, this printer's just
bane,
not functioning.
Truly, out of everything that year, like that was Jack's bane of his existence. Not COVID, no classes. It was that printer. He hated that, but he kept using it.
I love that printer. He prints stuff for me all the time. It's amazing.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now, good idea.
That was good. That
Wrap
was a
it
good
up.
one.
So we'll just ask like one question about GPS because we don't have that much time.
Okay.
Can we cut GPS? I like the other question better.
Yeah, do the other question. Cut GPS.
All right,
we don't care about that school.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So
here's to the girls.
this is about girls.
Okay. I know. That was it.
One of the most
Yeah.
obvious differences
Okay.
between McCallie and most high schools is that we don't have female students.
Right. Fair.
In your opinion, what are the benefits of being both a student and teacher at an all-boys school?
Ah, that's great. I think that being a student at a school of all boys is that y'all can really kind of come into your own as to who you are. And there's so many different examples and so many unique people here that you can learn from. And I like to think that there's someone here for everybody to learn from, to watch, to lean on. And I think when you take away the co-ed piece of it, I think there's a lot of pressures that are removed. And I think that's one of the best parts. And then I think we can really gear the way we teach towards you all. And certainly not to generalize, but if we were to generalize the way boys learn, we're able to do that.
Yeah.
Now, not every boy learns the same, but we're able to explore what that looks like in the classroom, right?
That's a good answer.
And would you say there are any downsides to it?
Of course not.
Bro, she can't
right.
say there's a downside.
No, y'all are all amazing and wonderful and full of joy in life.
This is a question
And y'all don't make me tired at all.
I do want to know. So,
Okay.
sorry to the booth. How has been raising your kids in the dorm?
Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely amazing. There is potential that I tear up on this one. So
It's the last question, so it's okay.
let me reel it in. What you all, it's going to happen.
Okay, Miss Burns.
What you guys,
Zoom the camera.
what you all give to them is something I can't give to them. And it's so amazing.
Man, I'm gonna cry too. I can't look at her
Y'all
now.
y'all are just these wonderful big brothers, and it's just so amazing to watch y'all with them. And y'all know their background, and you know my background, and it just watching y'all with them is honestly, and as corny as it sounds, been one of my like top 5 dreams to watch, and I get to do it. I'm living it, and it's just God, so wonderful. It's great.
Everyone take 5, okay? Just take 5. I shouldn't have asked the question.
Why did you ask me? You knew it was gonna happen. I cry all the
I love those little guys, so I was gonna ask it.
I love you too.
I'm their older brother, so
I
of
know
course I'm
it
gonna ask
doesn't
him.
help that you leave in 3 weeks. So we're
Okay.
not going to talk about
We're
that.
not
We're not
gonna-
going to talk
we
about that.
can't go there. We cannot go there.
We're not doing it.
All right,
Okay.
it's now for a fun game.
No. That's my favorite tradition again. I have a really.
All right, ready? Guess that teacher.
Oh, I'm so bad at this.
So we're gonna spit some facts.
Okay.
You're gonna guess that teacher. I think the first one is kind of gonna get it for you. So I think we skipped the first one.
Okay.
Well, that's okay. Fine.
No, we'll skip the first one.
Was voted most athletic in high school.
Okay.
really wants an alpaca.
I love alpacas.
Interesting.
They're so fluffy. Her brothers tried to kill her, quote unquote, kill her by dropping her from the family home balcony.
That is not quote unquote. That's
That might be first.
yeah. That
degree
might
murder.
be yeah.
Her brothers tried to kill her.
By dropping her off the
They
balcony.
just dropped her off the balcony.
Dr. Posey.
We weren't even done, but she got it.
Goodness.
Ding,
Come
ding,
on.
ding.
Ding,
Wow.
ding, ding.
When you got most athletic, I mean,
She is
Dr.
very-
Posey's a beast.
Oh, I
Played
know.
soccer in college too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's walking around and had 15 things done to her knee.
I know. The other fun facts. For all of
Sorry,
you-
I know. I'm so sorry, Dr.
For all of
Posey.
you fun fact lovers out there, she loves the Golden Girls.
And she
Me too, Dr. Posey.
It's almost like y'all are friends.
Is this one me? I was not voted most
And-
athletic.
And the first one, the coolest one. I'll let Wes-
she. I know you want to do it.
No, you
Oh,
interview.
got it.
You do.
Yeah.
She interviewed a serial killer.
Absolutely not.
Uh huh. Yeah,
Absolutely, she did.
You know, she's part of the LAPD.
I know. She was
That's
a
Forensic scientist.
forensic scientist.
Do we get to know which serial killer?
I think that's a little too.
Is that too much?
I think that's too much.
Is that too dark? for
Well,
the
I don't think she
podcast?
told. I don't think she wants to know, but that did happen.
They
Things-
might be looking for her, so
Fair point.
I think they're
keep it on
probably
the
in prison.
DL.
Things we can ask.
All right. So on that note, thank you everyone for listening or watching this. I don't know what you're doing. I'm looking at you. If you're watching, if you're listening, thank you so much.
Big shout out. We have a new writer.
Yes, we do.
So I would love to shout him out. Jackson Cook, congratulations.
So if you like this script, it's because of him.
I don't know if he wrote this one, but if he did it,
No, yeah, he did. He did write this one.
did
That's
a
why
great
it's so
job.
freaking amazing.
That's all I said.
Way better than Wes and I could have ever done
Oh,
if
jeez.
we
Just
ever
would've
did
been
it.
a disaster. But like, do you like Cocoa Puffs?
Do I like Cocoa Puffs?
No, I'm saying that's
That would be our question.
looks
Oh,
like.
terrible
like,
joke.
no.
But we are starting to enter
What?
our
So
final. Guys,
Sorry.
trying to
Sorry.
close this out here.
Sorry. Go ahead.
We are starting to enter our final episodes of the season, this season. We're going to end with some great guests and segments, so keep it updated on the Instagram and stuff. It's kind of sad to talk about, but, because it's the end, but it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. But do follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Stay up to date. We will be updating episodes. And then we also got some great stuff coming with Bobby on Roommate Wars. And I think Man on the Street is going to keep making some stuff. So we got a lot of stuff pumping out here, a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you keep updated for the rest of the school year.